Dear audience, hope there's nobody behind to put the shawl here. And don't think that to receive a shawl or come on the stage. See, now the 50th anniversary of United Nations organization is going on very well from the morning. But only one thing what I can't able to understand is that there is a unity in India first. That's number one. Number two, I do appreciate we are speaking about the peace on the world. So why can't they say, first, why can't we see our house first, then later on think about the neighbor? So I do know this is the 5th anniversary for the United Nations. 50th anniversary of United Nations. I do know we have to discuss about it. But the same way, why can't we also take interest for the unity, for the peace in India first? That's number one. The two, and number three is, I'm very sorry, I feel Mr. Sampath and the other members have taken a real great efforts to make the conference, but I'm feeling very sorry to see very few people over here. So my kind advice and the request is, the next anniversary have to be more good, and see to that a lot of people will come. See, 1 and 2 we can't do for the peace. There should be like, we have to, a lot of gathering should be there. That's it. So the final thing what I want to know is, so where we are standing and what we are going to do. Thank you.
I was privileged to be at the UN in 1985 to mark the 40th anniversary, and had the chance of briefing some of the delegates on this Eelam Tamil problem. And Mr. Krishnan Narrajan was a permanent representative, was my host. And we had interesting discussions. And one thing that what Mr. Anbarasu provoked me in the morning about the violence of the Tigers. He's a respected personality. He's my friend for the last 10 years, therefore I had not to offend him. But Mr. McCarthy, who was the liaison officer at the UN, told me in one sentence, summing up all the problems they raise about this violence, is that violation of human rights will lead to violence. You can repeat it. Violation of human rights will lead to violence. What kind of violence, how it will erupt, what casualty it will result in, that is another subject for discussion. Violation of human rights. So in the context of Sri Lanka, when there is a violation of human rights, where the Tamil rights are being jeopardized, very existence being called to question, how it erupt. Anybody can discuss as an intellectual discussion or intellectual exercise and academic interest. But we must accept the reality. When nonviolence or peaceful methods or the Gandhian concept is not being understood, what else is there for us to survive? Not to speak of any other. Mere survival. I am not even speaking of ethnic identity or anything like that. Physical survival demands that we must resist when there is something imposition. Then I come to the other important point. Mr. Kannan said, this discussion here, certainly not for intellectual as an exercise. What practical shape we are going to give? We are meeting in Tamil Nadu, and we must give a practical shape. I think Mr. Kannan has initiated it and said, let there be a peacekeeping force to do something to finish this kind of a bloodbath that we are experiencing. Whether it be Tamil life or single life, any human life is sacred. Something has been done, but it can be said in mere words. I want him as an experienced official who has also served in the peace committee in some other capacity. Please do something. Then this conference here is meaningful. Otherwise, we may not be able to do anything more. Then coming to the real problem here, of immediate problem, what is the function of the UNHCR when it comes to the question of refugees? But we find Indian government is not prepared to allow the UNHCR to function in India. If the UNHCR had been allowed to function here, the plight of the Eelam refugees would have been very much better. I have been championing the cause of the Eelam Tamil students. I find none are being admitted to the colleges. Forget about any other political issue. For the simple reason they happen to be the Eelam refugees, and because my late lamented leader Rajiv was assassinated by somebody, as who assassination is now being questioned at the Jain Commission, being Chandrasamy informed. But what is important here, because of that particular incident, none of the students are being allowed. If the UNHCR had been allowed to play a part, this calamity could have been averted. These are incidents which the learned scholars, learned intellectuals here, please do something to save the situation. Then, with one conclusion about the position of Tamil UN could occupy, I think as regards as an ancient language, as a rich language, but if it has a political status in some country, recognition may be easier. There's a namesake recognition given to Tamil in Sri Lanka, in Singapore. Whether that is enough for UNO to accept is a question. There, Mr. Kannan could enlighten us. But I think if Tamil is given recognition in UN, then the people will ask why Tamil is there. Then linked with it its own historical past and other things may be analyzed. And that may eventually lead for our even rights to be recognized in UNO. Thank you again.
Thank you for a nice comment given by Sririvardhan. Now tea time. After the tea time, we will assemble again for the concluding session and the distribution of the certificates. That is be kept in the record and we will tell you later. Thank you.